is continuous process management. Management is a continuous or never-ending function. All the functions of management are performed continuously. For example, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling are performed by all the manager all the time. Sometimes they perform few functions such as planning, then staffing or organizing, etc. Manager perform ongoing series of functions continuously in organization.
Continuous Process Improvement, or CPI, is a strategy or approach that businesses and organizations may use to monitor their business processes and make incremental improvements to enhance quality and efficiency.
What is the function of CPI? The fundamental goal of CPI is to provide a standards and consistent approach for enhancing an enterprise's workflows and procedures. If a corporation does not have a concrete plan for providing its operation, it will most likely find itself gradually regressing rather than improving. Large changes may be difficult and time-consuming to accomplish, but tiny adjustments often have considerable less hurdles to overcome. CPI is a method of improving your company's operations and using the power of tiny improvements to help your business reach its full potential.
What are the benefits of continuous process improvement? Continuous business process improvements is to discover and eliminate efficiencies and bottlenecks in order to optimize processes. You will get several benefits as a result of doing so, including cost savings, processing time is reduced, fewer mistakes, relationship with stakeholders and suppliers have improved, and goods of higher grade, employees that are more productive, and customers who are happier. The impact of continuous process improvement and its related benefits will depend on where you choose to focus. It will depend on your current operation and processes because they define the room for improvement. The great news in that no matter how big or small your improvements may be, they have the potential to have an impact on your employees as well as your customers.
Advantages of continuous improvement. Continuous improvement means your business is always getting better. First is efficiency. Continuously developing business equal constant improvement in efficiency. You save money on labor and boost customer satisfaction by producing a higher quality product when you develop process to get more done in less time. Next is engagement. Employees who operate in an atmosphere where they are expected to make continuous improvements are more engaged in their work than employees who are expected to just show up and get the job done. Interested workers are satisfied employees that remain with your firm longer and go above and beyond to satisfy customer and resolve issues. Third is customer satisfaction. You will be better equipped to address client requirements as your products and services develop over time, because your team will be investing time and effort to correcting issues. Your services will have fewer defects. This initiative will be motivated in part by consumer input, and their execution will enhance the customer experience. Fourth is effective system. When continuous improvement is part of a quality management effort, your company will put processes in place to analyze and update its operation on a regular basis. This system will provide your firm with the tools it needs to include quality as an integral part of its character.
Disadvantage of continuous improvement. Unless your company strategy is dependent on getting by with a substandard or simply sapiens product, there is no real downside to improving. However, of some of the methodical methods and tactics to attaining continuous improvement may not necessarily be in your company's best interest. First is incremental improvement. Incremental improvement is an approach to process improvement in which you and your staff focus efforts on smaller solutions that slowly but surely move the business towards success. These ideas are typically low cost and low risk and are implemented by employees throughout the entire organization. Second is steepled innovation. It means transitive to stop something from developing normally. Business are being stifled by a lot of new laws, unattended to stifle innovation, debate, democracy. If your business has defined the ways it wants to grow and improve, it may limit itself to a specific type of development and close itself to other possibilities. In addition to missing opportunities, this creates the possibility of stifling rather than rewarding the creativity of your staff. Third is inadequate implementation. Inadequate or bad execution is the outcome of issues with employees' talents and attitudes. This is wrong. Poor implementation is only a symptom of the underlying problem, which is poor management. In reality, the phenomena by the characterized as follows. Isolated incidents of bad implementation are caused by a lack of talent, but poor implementation across the board is caused by a lack of competent management.
The 4 steps in the process improvement cycle. First is identify current issues. To begin, you must examine the current process to identify any bottlenecks that are blocking the workflow. Process mapping will show you every stage of the workflow, allowing you to spot any unnecessary tasks that are slowing it down. Benchmark your existing performance so you may compare it to any changes you made. Second is plan improvements. Following that, you'll create a strategy for process enhancement. If you simply make minor changes, you'll end up with a solution that modifies the existing workflow. If you're planning a significant change, you'll need to think about how you take the present process down without affecting related process excessively. Plan the improvement technique as well as how you will scale the change after they have shown to be successful. And remember to prioritize improvement based on their impact, as well as your available time, budget, and resources. Next is execute changes. When implementing a process improvement, it's best to start small and observe how it goes. This stops you from having massive negative knock-on consequence if your adjustment isn't properly prepared. Once you've determined that the innovation is working properly, scale it up and disseminate it throughout the firm. Next is review performance of improvements. You should assess the efficiency of your improvements to ensure that they are enhancing processes in the way you anticipated. To determine how well your solution are doing, compare data to original benchmark. This will also assist you in determining the next incremental improvement to make.
There are several approaches available to assist you in analyzing, planning, executing, and tracking continuing progress. These strategies are often associated with several project management philosophies, allowing you to select the model that best suits your team's current work. Here are the top 6 ways for constantly improving a process. Number 1, PDCA cycle. 2, 5 focusing steps. 3, DMAIZ. 4, BPM life cycle. 5, Kaizen quality control circles. 6, the 5S philosophies.
PDCA cycle. This strategy is suitable for making gradual enhancement to established workflows. The PDCA cycle is a lean technique that focuses on eliminating unneeded process and inefficient operation. There are 4 steps are followed. Number 1 is plan. During the planning phase, team must measure current standards, develop ideas for changes, determine how the improvement should be implemented, set goals, and build a plan of action. Number 2, do. The team must now put the plan that was prepared in the first place into action. This requires not just modifying existing procedures, but also giving any necessary training, raising worker knowledge, and implementing any controls to avert any difficulties. Number 3 is check. After implementing any modification, personnel must take a new measurement and compare them to those taken before the change. This stage is critical for determining whether or not improvements occurred. The outcome must be assessed, and any corrective or preventive action must be planned in order to accomplish the intended adjustment. Number 4, act. Management team must be analyze all existing data from the modification to assess whether the change will be permanent or whether further changes are required. This process feeds into the plan step because after a change has been fully executed, it is a time to start exploring for a new method to enhance. Because of its cyclical character, the PDCA cycle is a great example of continuous improvement. In reality, it promotes that belief that no process is ever totally perfect, and that there is always space of improvement.
This is the 5 focusing steps. Step 1. Identify the constraint. Step 2. Exploit the constraint. Step 3. Subordinate everything to the constraint. Step 4. Elevate the constraint. And it's step 5. Prevent inertia. This improvement paradigm is based on the theory of constraints. The goal is to start with the weakest link and work your way up until it is no longer the weakest link. Then, you proceed to the next weakest connection. This is how it works. Find the weakest link in your workflow and identify the limitation. Exploit the constraint, push this element to its maximum to determine how much capacity it can provide before increasing it. For example, how many copies can you obtain from a copier in a certain period before you need another machine to meet demand? Subordinate. Reduce the capacity of all other process elements to match the capacity of the weakest link. Elevate the constraint. Once the constraint has been explored to its utmost capacity, add extras to boost capacity at this step. Prevent inertia by raising the capacity of the non-constraints and addressing the element again for or selecting the next weakest link.
DMAIC. This strategy is a Six Sigma approach for designing and implementing incremental changes to existing processes. It will assess you in resolving the issue, benchmarking existing standards, planning adjustment, and analyzing the results. DMAIC stands for define the purpose of enhancing the process so that you know where to focus your enhancement efforts. Measure the current performance of the process, analyze, conduct a root cause analysis to identify the major issue keeping you from accomplishing your objective. Improve, create tests, and implement a solution to underlying cause. Control, evaluate your solution's performance to determine whether it can be improved further.
BPM life cycle. The BPM life cycle is a strategy for business process management that promotes a cycle of continuous improvement. Rather than keeping processes static, this approach indicates that there is always space for improvement in order to improve workflow performance. There are five stages to follow. First is analyze. Examine the present process to discover opportunities for improvement and prioritize changes based on their impact and available resources. Next is redesign. Make adjustment to the process or rebuild the entire workflow. At this level, many organizations are implementing business process optimization technology to simplify procedures. The third is execute. Try out a new solution on a limited scale to determine if it produces the desired result. Next is monitor the process's performance to evaluate if the improvement is improving the process in the desired manner. And the last is optimize. Prior to implementing the changes on an organization basis, optimize it.
Number 5. Kaizen Quality Control Circles. Kaizen is a process that promotes ongoing development. The word is of Japanese origin. Kai means change and Zen means better. When making suggestions for process changes, the Kaizen concept promotes employee participation. The method used to design and carry out this proposed modification is known as a Kaizen Quality Control Circle. The following is what a small group of specialists in process improvement does. Number 1, decide what the issue is. 2, establish measures to good performance. Number 3, develop remedies for the problem. Number 4, test potential peaks on limited scale. Number 5, scale up technique.
The 5S philosophy. Another lean model for creating ongoing process improvement is the 5S concept. Organizing your processes is the premise behind this strategy, which aim to increase productivity, functionality, and efficiency. This philosophy 5 pillars are as follows. Sort. Start by walking through the process to identify any extraneous or complicated phases. Set in order. Create order inside the process to ensure that each stage builds logically on the one before it. Shine. Improve the procedure to make it work more effectively and efficiently. Standards. Establish a repeatable procedure for carrying out a new process. Sustain. To keep making progress over time, train workers and monitor their performance.